Bridges has officially arrived. Bridges' season didn't exactly kick off the way anyone expected. He started off rough, missing shots he usually makes, and it had a lot of people talking. The big concern? He changed his jump shot, and it looked like the adjustment wasn't working. That's a risky move for any player, let alone one expected to be a major contributor. For a while, it seemed like things were heading downhill fast. Fans were worried, critics were circling, and the pressure was mounting. But what a turnaround it's been. Bridges has completely flipped the script, and he's been nothing short of amazing. Right now, he's averaging 18.1 points per game, along with 3.3 rebounds and 3.3 assists. Those might not jump off the page initially, but when you dig deeper, the impact he's having is undeniable. He's also leading the entire NBA in minutes played, clocking in at 38.8 per game. That's a staggering workload for anyone, but Bridges is handling it like a pro. His efficiency is what really stands out, 50.2% from the field and 37.1% from three. Combine that with a true shooting percentage of 59.1, and you've got a player who's maximizing every possession. Oh, and it's plus minus 7.1. That's elite company. December has been an absolute breakout month for Bridges. He's been one of the top scorers in the league, ranking 4th in points. Even more impressive, he's first in true shooting percentage among players who've scored at least 200 points. That's the kind of efficiency you only see from superstars. Over his last 20 games, he's taken his game to another level. 19.6 points per game, 3.2 rebounds, and 3.3 assists, with just 1.6 turnovers. Those are rock solid numbers. His shooting has been lights out too, a 60.4 effective field goal percentage and 40% from deep on 7 attempts per game. That's the kind of 3-point volume and efficiency that keeps defenses up at night. And let's not overlook his defense. Bridges has been a menace on that end of the floor, holding opponents to just 42% shooting. That's no small feat when you're regularly guarding some of the best scorers in the league. He's not just contributing, he's dominating on both ends. It's rare to see someone so consistent offensive while also being such a defensive force. This isn't just a hot streak, it's a player reaching new heights. Christmas Day was his master. Bridges absolutely lit up the San Antonio Spurs, leading the Knicks to a thrilling 117-114 victory at home. He dropped 41 points, snagged 1 rebound, handed out 4 assists, grabbed 2 steals, and blocked 2 shots. The efficiency was jaw-dropping, 17 for 25 from the field and 6 for 9 from three-point range. He played 43 minutes, and yet he never seemed to lose a step. His 15 points in the 4th quarter sealed the deal, showing that he thrives under pressure. This performance wasn't just great, it was historic. Bridges' 41 points were the most by a Knick on Christmas Day since 1984. He joined King and Richie Guerin as the only Knicks to score 40 or more points on Christmas. That's some elite company, and it's a testament to just how special Bridges has been this season. Moments like that don't just happen. They're the result of hard work, resilience, and an unshakable belief in your abilities. What's so exciting about Bridges' growth is how it's come together on both ends of the floor. He's not just scoring, he's doing all the little things that lead to winning basketball. His defense has been nothing short of spectacular, guarding multiple positions, disrupting passing lanes, contesting shots. He's been a nightmare for opposing offenses. And on the other end, his scoring has been timely and efficient. Whether it's a pull-up jumper, a spot-up 3, or a crafty drive to the basket, he's finding ways to get it done. December has been a statement month for Bridges. His true shooting percentage of 61% is just absurd. He's taking smart shots, staying within the flow of the offense, and punishing defenders for giving him even an inch of space. The 3-point shooting has been a huge part of his game. 7 attempts per game at 40% is elite territory. That kind of shooting stretches defenses and opens up the floor for his teammates. It's not just the volume, it's the quality of those shots that's making a difference. And let's not forget the work. Playing nearly 40 minutes a game is no joke, especially when you're carrying such a heavy load on both ends. But Bridges isn't just surviving, he's thriving. If anything, he's getting better as the season goes on. That kind of endurance and consistency is rare, and it's a big reason why the Knicks have been able to lean on him so heavily. Bridges has shown that he's more than just a role player or a defensive stopper. He's stepping into the spotlight and proving that he can be a star. The Knicks needed someone to rise to the occasion, and Bridges has answered the call in a massive way. He's showing that his ceiling might be even higher than anyone expected. This season has been all about growth for him, and he's seizing the moment with everything he's got. Watching it unfold has been nothing short of a joy. By the way, if you guys enjoy these deep dives, I'll be posting every day during the season. I genuinely appreciate if you could subscribe. Thanks. Anyways, Bridges. Let's look at some other stuff he's done this season, starting with his defense. Bridges has been an absolute force. He stopped 93 drives this season, which puts him third in the entire NBA. That's behind only Dyson Daniels and De'Aaron Fox. And those are players known for their defensive prowess. Stopping drives isn't just about standing in someone's way, it's about timing, positioning, and reading the offensive player. Bridges has mastered all of that, and it shows. He's not just making stops, he's making a statement. Then there's his offense. Bridges has been taking some of the most challenging shots you can imagine. 7 of his attempts this season have come from behind half court. Think about that for a second. 7 shots from that range. That's the second most in the league, with only Nikola Jokic ahead of him. Sure, those aren't shots you expect to go in, but they show his willingness to take risks and his confidence in his ability. That's the kind of mentality that separates good players from great ones. Early in the season, there were concerns about Bridges' inefficiency on above-the-break three-pointer. It was a glaring issue, and the critics were loud. The shots weren't falling, and the percentages weren't pretty. But here's what I love about Bridges. He didn't let that slow him down. He kept playing his game and taking those shots, knowing that eventually, the hard work would pay off. That resilience is rare, and it's one of the reasons I've been confident he turned things around. And he has. If you take out the 7 backcourt heaves and 6 deep misses from beyond 26 feet, his field goal percentage on above-the-break threes improves by nearly 4 percentage points. That's a significant jump and shows how much those outlier attempts can skew the number. It's also a reminder to look beyond the surface stats, because Bridges' true shooting touch is better than it might appear at first glance. What really stands out is the impact Bridges has on the Knicks as a team. When he's on the floor, the Knicks have a plus 9.57 net rating. That's a huge swing when you compare it to the negative 0.76 net rating they have when he's off the court. Those numbers don't lie. He's a difference maker. Whether it's his defense, his shot making, or just the energy he brings, Bridges lifts the entire team when he's out there. Let's talk about his mid-range game, because it's become one of his most lethal weapons. Bridges is hitting 54.1% of his mid-range shots this season, which ranks him second in the league behind Dennis Schroeder. In today's NBA, where the mid-range shot is often overlooked, Bridges is showing just how valuable it can be. He's turning those inefficient shots into high-percentage look, and it's paying off in a big way. His offensive rating is just as impressive. Bridges ranks 5th in the league with a rating of 122.0. To put that into perspective, the players ahead of him include Nikola Jokic, Jaylen Brown, Darius Garland, and Jalen Brunson. That's elite company. It shows that Bridges isn't just a role player. He's contributing at an incredibly high level and doing so efficiently. He's maximizing his opportunities and making the most of every possession. And then there's his three-point shooting from the corners. Bridges is hitting 47.4% of his corner threes, which ranks him 5th in the league. Corner threes are some of the most valuable shots in basketball, and Bridges is nailing them at an elite clip. It's not just about making shots, it's about understanding spacing, finding open looks, and being ready to capitalize when the opportunity comes. His pull-up shooting has been another standout area. He's making 50% of his pull-up attempts, ranking second only to DeMar DeRozan. Pull-up jumpers require a unique combination of balance, confidence, and precision, and Bridges has all of that. It's become one of his go-to moves, and it's a big reason why he's been so effective as a scorer. What's been truly impressive is how Bridges balances his offensive and defensive responsibilities. Playing on both ends of the court at such a high level isn't easy, especially when you're logging heavy minutes, but Bridges thrives in that role. He's the guy who can guard the opposing team's best player, then turn around and hit a clutch shot on the other end. That kind of versatility is invaluable, and it's a big reason why he's been such a crucial part of the Knicks' success this season. The numbers only tell part of the story though. What really sets Bridges apart is the way he plays the game. There's a confidence and poise to his approach that's hard to miss. Even when things weren't going his way earlier in the season, he stayed focused and kept grinding. That mental toughness is something you don't see every day, and it's paying off in a big way now. Bridges' ability to adapt and improve has been a joy to watch. Whether it's his mid-range shooting, his three-point accuracy, or his defensive stops, he's finding ways to make an impact. And the best part, he's doing it all while playing the right way. There's no flash, no unnecessary flair, just solid, fundamental basketball that helps his team win. What's exciting is that Bridges still has room to grow. He's already shown he can be a top-tier defender and an efficient scorer, but there's a sense that he's just scratching the surface of what he can do. As the season progresses, I wouldn't be surprised to see him take his game to even greater heights. For now though, it's clear he's one of the most valuable players on the court for the Knicks, and he's having a season to remember. It's been incredible to watch it all unfold. Bridges has been on a mission this season when it comes to his shooting, and his advanced stats really tell the story. Let's get into the numbers and break down what makes him such an efficient scorer. First off, Bridges is scoring 17.3 points per game. That might not sound earth-shattering at first glance, but when you consider the efficiency behind those points, it's clear he's been a major factor for the Knicks this year. His scoring places him ahead of more than 86% of players in the league. That's not just solid, it's top-tier production. He's getting those points without needing a ton of volume, which makes it even more impressive. Now, let's dive into his effective field goal percentage, or EFG. This stat is a great way to measure how well a player is shooting overall, because it takes into account the extra value of three-pointers. Bridges' EFG this season is 57.5%. To put that into context, he's outshooting more than 71% of players in the NBA. That's the kind of efficiency you dream of from a guy who's a key part of your offense. Here's where it gets even more interesting. Bridges is averaging 1.1 points per field goal attempt. That might sound like just a number, but think about it. Every time he takes a shot, the Knicks are getting a little more than 1 point. That's incredibly valuable, especially when you're facing tight defenses. His shooting splits back this up too, with 4.82 point makes per game and 2.4 three-pointers. All of this comes on 14.6 field goal attempts per game, showing he's striking the perfect balance between volume and efficiency. Next up is true shooting percentage, or TS percent. If you're not familiar, true shooting is one of the best ways to measure a player's overall scoring efficiency because it accounts for free throws as well as field goals. Bridges' true shooting percent this season is 58.1%, putting him ahead of more than 60% of the league. That means he's converting his scoring opportunities at a rate that most players simply can't match. What really stands out is his ability to generate 1.2 points per scoring attempt. This takes into account all his shots and trips to the free throw line, and it shows just how consistent he's been. Whether he's taking mid-range jumpers, spotting up for threes, or attacking the basket, Bridges is finding ways to make every attempt count. Here's the thing about Bridges. He's not just a shooter, he's an efficient scorer. There's a big difference between the two. Anyone can put up shots, but it takes skill, decision-making, and precision to consistently score at the rate he's been doing this season. His numbers show that he's not wasting possessions. When he shoots, he's putting his team in the best position to succeed. Another thing to note is his shot distribution. With 4.82 point makes and 2.4 threes per game, Bridges has a versatile offensive game. He's not relying too heavily on any one area of the floor. That balance makes him harder to guard because he's effective both inside the arc and beyond it. Opponents can't just focus on running him off the three-point line or packing the paint. He's dangerous everywhere. And don't overlook the fact that he's doing all of this on just 14.6 shot attempts per game. That's an incredibly efficient workload for someone scoring 17.3 points a night. He's not taking bad shots or forcing things. He's letting the game come to him and picking his spots wisely. That's the mark of a player who understands his role and knows how to maximize his impact. One of the most impressive aspects of Bridges' season is how consistent his numbers are across different advanced metrics. Whether it's effective, true shooting, or points per scoring attempt, everything points to a player who's excelling in efficiency. That's not easy to do, especially when you're facing the level of competition he does night after night. But Bridges has found a way to rise above it and deliver for his team. His ability to generate 1.1 points per field goal and 1.2 points per scoring attempt speaks volumes about his shot selection and decision making. He's not just throwing up shots and hoping they go in. He's taking smart, calculated attempts that put him and the Knicks in the best position to succeed. That level of discipline is rare and deserves a ton of credit. When you think about Bridges' shooting stats this season, one word comes to mind: efficient. He's not just scoring, he's doing it in a way that minimizes wasted opportunities and maximizes his team's chances to win. His effective and true shooting are proof of that. And his points per attempt numbers back it up even further. Bridges is also a player who understands the importance of balance. He's equally comfortable shooting from mid-range, beyond the arc, or attacking the rim. That versatility makes him a nightmare for opposing defenses because they never know what to expect. He's shown time and time again this season that he can adapt to whatever the defense throws at him and still find ways to score. All of this adds up to a player who's having a fantastic season shooting the basketball. Bridges' advanced stats tell a clear story. He's efficient, consistent, and highly effective. Whether it's his ability to generate points per shot, his shooting percentages, or his shot selection, everything points to a player who's making the most of his opportunity. And honestly, It's been so much fun to watch. But then we can look at his teamwork number. He's doing so much more than just scoring or defending. He's elevating the entire team whenever he's on the court. Let's break it all down and see why his presence is making such a big difference. First off, Bridges is outperforming an incredible 97% of players in the league when it comes to mixed teamwork. This stat measures how much a player impacts their team's positive margin compared to everyone else. And let's be real, if you're in the top 3% of the league in anything, you're doing something special. For Bridges, it's all about how he contributes to winning basketball. His offensive rating, or ORTG, is an insane 123.2. This means the Knicks score 100 to 23.2 points per 100 possessions when Bridges is on the floor. That's elite efficiency, and it shows just how well he fits into their offensive system. He's not just taking up space out there, he's making things happen. Whether it's through his movement, his passing, or his ability to stretch the floor, Bridges is a catalyst for good offense. But it's not just about offense. Bridges' defensive rating, or DRTG, sits at 113.8. Now that might not jump off the page compared to his offensive numbers, but it's still a strong showing, especially when you consider the level of competition he's up against. Defense is a team effort, and Bridges is clearly pulling his weight. His ability to stay locked in on that end of the floor makes him a huge asset. What really stands out is his net rating, or net RTG, which combines his impact on both ends of the court. Bridges' net RTG is a whopping plus 9.4. That means the Knicks outscore their opponents by 9.4 points per 100 possessions when he's on the court. That's massive. It's one thing to be good on offense or defense, but to have such a positive impact on both ends, that's the sign of a player who truly makes his team better. Another incredible stat is his games with a positive plus minus as a percentage. Bridges has a positive plus minus in 69% of the games he's played this season. That's not a fluke, it's consistency. Game after game, he's finding ways to contribute to winning. Even when the box score doesn't tell the full story, the plus minus does. It's a testament to how valuable he is in so many different ways. And let's talk about his on-off stat, because it's one of the most telling indicators of his impact. When Bridges is on the court, the Knicks have a points difference of plus 6.7 compared to when he's off. It shows just how much of a difference he makes when he's in the game, whether it's his defense, his spacing, or his ability to make the right play at the right time. Bridges is a game changer. The thing that's so impressive about Bridges is how well-rounded his impact is. He's not just a specialist who does one thing really well. He's a complete player who contributes in multiple areas. His offensive rating is elite, his defensive rating is strong, and his net rating is through the roof. Those numbers aren't just good, they're great, and they show that Bridges isn't just fitting into the Knicks system, he's thriving in it. Bridges also stands out for his ability to elevate his teammates. Basketball is a team sport, and the best players are the ones who make everyone around them better. That's exactly what Bridges does. His movement off the ball creates space for his teammates. His defensive versatility allows others to focus on their strength, and his unselfish play keeps the offense flowing. He's the kind of player who does all the little things that lead to big wins. What's even more exciting is that Bridges is doing all of this without needing to dominate the ball. He's not someone who demands a ton of touches to make an impact. Instead, he finds ways to contribute within the flow of the game. That kind of adaptability is rare, and it's a big reason why he's been so effective this season. The advanced stats also show just how smart Bridges is as a player. His ability to read the game and make the right decisions is reflected in his efficiency number. Whether it's choosing the right moment to shoot, making the extra pass, or staying disciplined on defense, Bridges consistently puts himself and his team in the best position to succeed. That basketball IQ is something you can't teach. It's instinctive. One of the most underrated aspects of Bridges' game is his durability and consistency. He shows up every night and brings the same level of intensity and focus. That reliability is invaluable for a team like the Knicks, who rely on him to set the tone on both ends of the floor. It's not just about what he does, it's about how often he does it. Game after game, Bridges delivered. What I really love about Bridges' impact is how it translates to winning basketball. The Knicks are simply better when he's on the court. His ability to boost their offensive efficiency, anchor their defense, and elevate his teammates makes him an indispensable part of the team. And the stats back it up. From his offensive and defensive ratings to his net rating and plus minus, everything points to a player who's making a massive difference. Bridges has been an advanced stats monster this season when it comes to teamwork. His mixed teamwork rating puts him in the top 3% of the league. His net rating is stellar, And his on-off numbers highlight just how much better the Knicks are with him on the floor. Add in his offensive and defensive ratings, his ability to play within the team system, and his consistent contributions, and you've got a player who's having an incredible season. It's been so much fun to watch him thrive this year. But I also want to look at his ball handling numbers. It's not just about flashy moves or breaking ankles. It's about how his ball handling contributes to the Knicks' overall success. And let me tell you, the advanced stats paint a pretty exciting picture of how he's performing in this area. Let's start with a key metric, the 3 steps ranking. This stat estimates a player's overall ball handling ability, and Bridges is outperforming more than 80% of players in the league. That's an impressive stat for someone who isn't a primary ball handler. It highlights how much trust the Knicks place in his ability to manage the ball effectively and keep the offense flowing. Now, let's break it down further with his assist number. Bridges is averaging 3.3 assists per game, which translates to assisting on 11.69% of his teammates' field goals. While he's on the court, this assist percentage, or AST percent, puts him ahead of nearly half the players in the league. What's interesting here is how Bridges has carved out a role as a secondary playmaker. He's not running the offense like a point guard, but when the ball is in his hands, good things happen. His passing creates an average of 8.5 points per game for his teammates, which shows just how valuable he is in keeping everyone involved. Bridges' turnover numbers are where things really get exciting. Turnovers can kill a team's momentum, but Bridges is doing an incredible job of minimizing those mistakes. He averages just 1.6 turnovers per game, and his turnover percentage, or TOV percent, is a rock-solid 8.16%. That means for every 100 actions he takes that conclude a play, whether it's a shot or a turnover, he's only turning the ball over about 8 times. That puts him ahead of 72% of players in the league when it comes to protecting the ball. What I love about this combination of assists and low turnovers is how it reflects Bridges' decision-making. He's not forcing plays or taking unnecessary risks. Instead, he's making smart, calculated decisions that keep the offense running smooth. His ability to balance creating for others while protecting the ball is something every team needs, and Bridges is delivering in a big way. Another area worth highlighting is his scoring attempts compared to his turnovers. Bridges is averaging 14.9 scoring attempts per game, which is nearly 10 times his turnover average. That's an incredible ratio and a testament to how efficient he is with the ball. When you consider that he's also assisting on more than 8 points per game, it becomes clear just how valuable he is as a dual threat, someone who can score and set up his teammates without wasting possession. The context of these numbers is just as important as the stats themselves. Bridges isn't playing in a system where he dominates the ball. He's working within a team structure that relies on multiple players to share responsibility. Despite that, he's finding ways to stand out with his ball handling efficiency. It's not easy to maintain such low turnover rates while contributing as much as he does, but Bridges is making it look effortless. His ball handling isn't just about not turning the ball over, it's about keeping the offense moving. The Knicks rely on him to be a connector, someone who can swing the ball to the right spot, drive into the lane to collapse the defense, or make the extra pass to get a better shot. Bridges excels in these situations, and the stats back it up. What's particularly impressive is how Bridges has found ways to grow in this role. Earlier in his career, he was more of a spot-up shooter and defensive specialist. This season, though, he's taken on more ball handling responsibilities and proven he can handle them at a high level. His ability to evolve as a player is a big reason why he's been so effective for the Knicks. His assist percentage of 11.69 might not seem flashy compared to traditional point guard, but it's important to consider the role Bridges plays. He's not the primary ball handler, yet he's consistently finding ways to create for his teammates. That speaks to his basketball IQ and his willingness to adapt to what the team needs. Another stat that stands out is his points assisted per game. Creating 8.5 points for his teammates every night might not jump off the page at first, but think about the impact that has over the course of a season. That's a significant contribution, especially when you add it to his scoring and defensive efforts. Bridges isn't just helping himself, he's elevating everyone around him. His turnover percentage of 8.16 is another indicator of how smart and efficient he is with the ball. Turnovers are one of the quickest ways to lose momentum in a game, but Bridges is doing a fantastic job of avoiding them. He's making decisions that minimize risk while still finding ways to make an impact. That kind of discipline is rare and invaluable for any team. The balance Bridges brings to the table is what really sets him apart. He's not just a scorer a passer, or a defender, he's all of those things rolled into one. His ball handling stats show how he's able to blend these skills seamlessly, creating a complete package that makes him so effective on the court. What's been really fun to watch this season is how Bridges has embraced this role. He's taken on more responsibility as a ball handler and playmaker, and he's thriving. His advanced stats show that he's not just capable, he's excelling. The Knicks are better because of what he brings, and his ball handling is a huge part of that. Bridges' advanced ball handling stats this season have been incredible. He's outperforming most players in the league when it comes to mixed ball handling metrics, assist percentages, and turnover efficiency. His ability to create for others while protecting the ball is unmatched, and his impact goes far beyond the number. Bridges has proven that he's not just a scorer or a defender, he's a complete player who makes his team better every time he steps on the floor. And honestly, it's been so much fun to watch him thrive in this role. Watching him perform felt like witnessing a masterclass in efficiency and control. He dropped 41 points, pulled down 1 rebound, and dished out 4 assists. He shot an absurd 17 of 25 from the field, went 6 of 9 from beyond the arc, and hit his lone free throw attempt. To top it off, he added 2 blocks and 2 steals, proving once again why he's such a well-rounded player. It wasn't just a good performance, it was historic. His efficiency was through the roof, and it felt like he couldn't miss, especially in the fourth quarter when the game was on the line. What's even more impressive is that Bridges is now second all-time for the most points scored by a Knicks player on Christmas Day. The only player ahead of him, the legendary Bernard King, who dropped an unforgettable 60 points. That's the kind of elite company Bridges finds himself in after this game. Knicks fans are celebrating, and rightfully so. On the flip side, Spurs fans are probably going to be haunted by Bridges' fadeaway jumpers for weeks. He was that dominant. This season, Bridges has leaned heavily into his mid-range game, and it's paying off in a big way. He said publicly that he's not driving as much because the fadeaway is his go-to weapon against elite defenses. Watching him execute those jumpers with such precision is like watching Kawhi Leonard or even shades of Kevin Durant. At 6'6", Bridges has found a way to use his size, length, and touch to create a nearly unstoppable shot. It's been incredible to watch, but there's also room for improvement, namely his free throw attempt. Bridges is averaging just 0.9 free throw attempts per game this season, which is shockingly low for someone of his caliber. It's hard to believe there's no better offensive strategy than getting a player like Bridges to the line more often. For comparison, when he was with the Nets and looked like a surefire all-star, he averaged 6.6 free throw attempts per game. That's a huge drop-off, and it's something he'll need to address moving forward. Even Jalen Brunson called him out last year for avoiding contact, and that was before they were even teammates. If Bridges can figure out how to draw more fouls, his game will become even more lethal. What's so exciting about this performance is that it wasn't just a solo effort. The Knicks' balanced offense was on full display, and Bridges fit seamlessly into that flow. When a team has multiple players capable of stepping up, it makes them incredibly tough to defend. Bridges didn't force anything. He let the game come to him. That kind of poise and maturity is what makes him so effective. He knows when to take over and when to let his teammates shine, which is a skill not every player has. For over a month now, Bridges has been playing at an elite level on both ends of the floor. Today's game was just the latest in a string of standout performances. Early in the season, critics were quick to write him off, but those takes are aging poorly. Bridges has proven that he's not just back, he's better than ever. His confidence is through the roof, and it's showing in every aspect of his game. The Knicks should be thrilled with how Bridges is performing. He's not just a scorer, he's a complete player who impacts the game in so many ways. His fadeaway jumper has become one of the deadliest weapons in the league, and his efficiency is off the charts. Watching him today, it was hard not to think about how much better he can still get. The league should be paying attention because Bridges is a problem, and the Knicks are reaping the reward. One of the most satisfying aspects of Bridges' game is how ethical and clean it feels. He's not out there flopping or relying on gimmick. He plays the game the right way, and that was on full display today. His mid-range jumper, his three-pointers, his defensive effort, it all felt effortless yet intentional. Watching him, it's easy to draw comparisons to prime Kawhi Leonard. There's a calmness and precision to his approach that's rare to see. Credit also has to go to his teammates. Players like OG, Josh Hart, and Precious played crucial roles, especially on defense and on the boards in the final quarter. Having teammates who can step up in big moments takes so much pressure off Bridges and allows him to focus on what he does best. It's that kind of team balance that makes the Knicks so dangerous. And then there's the matchup with Victor Wembanyama. Wemby dropping over 40 points in the same game was wild, but let's be real, this night belonged to Bridges. He stole the show and reminded everyone why he's such a crucial piece for the Knicks. Performances like this are why people are starting to take the Knicks seriously as a contender, and his impact is undeniable. Momentum has been building around Bridges for weeks now, and today felt like the culmination of all that hard work paying off. He's not just scoring, he's doing it efficiently and within the flow of the game. That kind of consistency is what separates good players from great ones. Bridges has found his rhythm, and the Knicks are thriving because of it. One thing that really stands out about Bridges is his resilience. Even when things weren't going his way earlier in the season, he never lost confidence. He kept working, kept believing, and now it's all coming together. That kind of mental toughness is rare and invaluable for a player of his caliber. It's clear that Bridges is playing with a level of confidence that's contagious. It's lifting his teammates, energizing the fans, and putting the league on notice. The Knicks are back, and Bridges is at the center of it all. Today's game was proof that this team is more than just a collection of talent. They're a cohesive unit that plays the right way, and Bridges is leading by example, showing what it means to be a true professional. His ability to elevate his teammates while dominating himself is what makes him so special. What's so exciting is that Bridges is still improving. His fadeaway jumper is already one of the best weapons in the league, and it's only going to get better. If he can add more trips to the free throw line, he'll be unstoppable. For now, though, it's clear that he's found his groove, and the Knicks are benefiting in a big way. This Christmas performance wasn't just a game, it was a statement. Bridges has arrived, and he's here to stay. Whether it's his scoring, his efficiency, or his ability to play within the team's system, everything about his game today was a reminder of why he's so valuable. The doubters have been silenced, and the Knicks are rolling. Watching Bridges dominate like this makes it clear that the future is bright for him and this team. It's going to be exciting to see what he does next. Bridges has completely flipped the script on his season, and it's been incredible to watch. Early on, things weren't clicking, his shots weren't falling, and the rhythm just wasn't there. But now, he's playing some of the best basketball of his career, and the transformation has been nothing short of amazing. Bridges is showcasing his versatility on both ends of the court. His scoring has become incredibly efficient, with improved shooting percentages across the board. He's finding his spots, taking smart shots, and making defenses pay when they give him even the smallest window. What's even more impressive is his impact beyond scoring. He's been a consistent playmaker and a defensive anchor, bringing energy and focus every night. The best part, Bridges is doing this all within the flow of the Knicks system. He's not forcing anything. He's letting the game come to him and thriving because of it. His confidence is sky high, and it's lifting the entire team. This resurgence isn't just a hot streak, it's the result of hard work and dedication to his craft. Bridges has arrived, and he's proving why he's such a key piece for the Knicks right now. It's been so fun to watch. If you guys enjoyed this, I'll be posting every day during the season. I genuinely appreciate if you could subscribe. Thanks for watching.